An ambulance arrives with a patient who cannot speak. No name, no records, no time to test. The trauma team opens the blood refrigerator and reaches for one bag before they know almost anything about the person in front of them. The label says something most people never think twice about. O negative. If that is your type, something hidden in your blood may be the reason a stranger survives the night. O negative red cells can be given to every major A, B, O, and Rh type when there is no time to wait. But the rule changes when you are the patient. Almost everyone can receive your red cells. You can receive only O negative. The blood that can rescue nearly anyone is one of the hardest to rescue in return. Hospitals guard it. Helicopters carry it. Trauma teams reach for it before they even know the patient's name. The hidden superpower of O negative begins with what its red cells do not carry. And the deeper scientists looked into what was missing, the stranger the story became. The first part of the answer is the O. On chromosome 9, the ABO gene helps decide which sugar markers are added to your red cells. Type A adds one, type B adds another. In the common O version, the gene produces an inactive enzyme. No A or B marker is added, so the underlying H structure remains unchanged. The minus sign comes from a completely different system. It is linked mainly to genes on chromosome 1. When the D antigen is present on the surface of the red cell, the result is Rh positive. When doctors cannot detect it, the result is Rh negative. O negative appears only when both inherited stories meet in the same person. O itself is common. Rh negative is not. Put them together and the crowd narrows quickly. In a room of 100 people, only a small handful may share your type. But rarity is only the first clue. The real reason your blood can do what most others cannot is hidden inside the minus sign. In many Rh negative people with European ancestry, scientists can see the reason directly in the DNA. The entire Rhd gene is missing. Not asleep. Not damaged at one tiny point. Gone. The empty space left behind helps create the blood type doctors depend on when they have no time for certainty. But the same minus sign does not always hide the same genetic story. In other populations, the Rhd gene may be altered, broken apart, or partly rearranged, leaving little or no detectable D antigen. Two people can carry identical O negative cards and still have reached that result by different routes. A routine test may read Rh negative, while specialized testing reveals a faint trace of D antigen. These are known as weak D or DEL variants. Even the minus sign can hide something. That hidden variety leaves a trace on the world map, though the map alone will not explain it. R negative is more frequent in populations with European ancestry, lower in many African populations, and rare across much of East Asia. Yet the same result can be produced by different genetic changes. The map shows one symbol. The DNA beneath it tells several histories. These patterns describe populations, not individual origins. Blood type cannot tell you where you come from, but it can reveal why a rare combination in one person becomes critically important in another. For most of history, doctors did not know this second blood system existed. Then, in 1939, a transfusion that should have worked went wrong, and for a while no one could say why. The ABO types matched perfectly. The blood still reacted. Something invisible had been waiting outside the only system medicine knew to check. The patient was a woman who had recently delivered a stillborn child. During the pregnancy, her immune system had encountered an antigen inherited from the father and carried by the fetus. Later, when she received blood from her husband, her antibodies recognized it again. Her immune system had already responded to it once before. That antigen became known as RHD. The name grew out of early rhesus monkey experiments, although scientists later realized they were not dealing with exactly the same antibody. The name survived the mistake, and the unseen factor behind one failed transfusion became one of medicine's most important discoveries. An Rh-negative mother can carry an Rh-positive fetus. During pregnancy or delivery, a small number of fetal red cells may enter her bloodstream. The first exposure may pass without any obvious warning, but the immune system can remember the D antigen. The danger may not appear until a later pregnancy. If the next fetus is also Rh positive, those antibodies can cross the placenta and destroy fetal red cells. Before prevention, this could cause severe anemia, brain injury, heart failure, or death. One protein, too small to see, could cast a shadow over an entire family. Then doctors learned how to interrupt that memory. Rh immune globulin binds Rh-positive fetal cells in an unsensitized mother's bloodstream and helps remove them before her immune system builds lasting anti-D antibodies. Medicine did not change the blood. It learned how to stay one step ahead of it. A danger that had repeated through generations became largely preventable through blood typing, monitoring, and one precisely timed injection. The same hidden difference that once caused unexplained loss could finally be recognized and controlled. Then the story turns again. In trauma care, the missing D antigen becomes an advantage. O-negative red cells also lack A and B markers, avoiding the main compatibility barriers before a patient's type is known. There is no costume here, and no impossible strength, only a hidden biological advantage that can give an emergency team the one thing it cannot manufacture. Time. Only about 7% of people in the United States and roughly 8% in Britain are O-negative. Yet hospitals need it far more often than those numbers suggest. A small group of donors supplies the blood used when the patient could be almost anyone. Blood banks reveal its value in a strange way. They try not to use more of it than necessary. O-negative may begin the transfusion while the patient is still unknown. Once another compatible type is confirmed, the team often switches. Every saved unit stays ready for the next unidentified patient. On an air ambulance, there may be no full laboratory and no shelf of alternatives. The patient could be a child, a pregnant woman, or someone found alone at the roadside. O-negative travels into that uncertainty. It fills the dangerous space between the accident and the answer. You may never learn where an O-negative donation goes. It can leave a quiet donation room, cross a city at night, and enter an operating theater before dawn. The recipient may never know your name. That is the strange part of this superpower. The person whose life it changes may never know who carried it. Its rarity has attracted stories about alien ancestry, non-human blood, and lost species. Genetics supports none of them. The real story needs no myth. Your blood can do something extraordinary for a completely ordinary reason. It is missing the markers that would close too many doors. Rh-negative did not begin in one supernatural event. Different genetic changes produced similar results, and their frequencies shifted as populations separated, mixed, and moved. Your blood card compresses all of that into one small minus sign, a symbol simple enough to overlook until a life depends on it. O-negative brings three hidden facts together: no A marker, no B marker, and no detectable D antigen. That combination allows your red cells to cross compatibility barriers that stop most others. The secret inside the label sits in what your cells never carried. Your red cells can help almost any major blood type in an emergency. But when you need a transfusion, only O negative will do. That is the price inside the gift. The blood that opens doors for everyone else leaves only one door open for you. Somewhere tonight, an O negative unit is waiting behind a refrigerator door. It may be taken into a helicopter, a delivery room, or a trauma bay. The donor may be asleep. The recipient may never know who gave it. But when every other detail is missing, that small bag may be the one answer still available. If you have O negative blood, you do not need a legend to make it extraordinary. Your red cells can help almost anyone when there is no time to learn who they are, while almost no one can replace them for you. That is your hidden superpower. It does not come from what your blood gained. It comes from what your blood can do precisely because something is missing.